a
If there
country?
is a shutdown, how many federal workers do you plan to lay off?
Well, we may do a lot, and that's only because of the Democrats. And as you know, they want to be able to take care of people that have come into our country illegally, and no system can handle that. And so we're totally opposed on that. But we can't take it. We just can't do it. I'd love to do everybody. I'd love to do the whole world. But our country can't handle people that come into our country illegally.
The government is going to shut down in less than 24 hours. Let's talk about what that means for you, your family, and your friends. Funding for the United States government will effectively run out tomorrow, Tuesday, September 30th at midnight. This is due to the fact that Republicans, who need 60 votes in order to pass a continuing resolution to continue funding the government, need 7 Democratic votes. What's even more problematic is that Republicans have not asked for Democratic help or even asked Democrats what they would like to see in a bill. Rather, they want to strong-arm them and force them into voting against their own party ideals. As a matter of fact, last week, congressional leadership, specifically on the Democratic side, had asked President Trump for a meeting to sit down and negotiate in a bipartisan manner. Specifically, Democrats are wanting to re-enshrine and protect healthcare rates and insurance for individuals who lost their healthcare protections after the Republicans shoved through their one big beautiful bill that effectively stripped healthcare insurance for 12 million Americans. Like I had mentioned earlier, President Trump initially accepted a meeting with Democratic congressional leadership, but then later reversed this decision so that he did not want to meet with, quote, radical left lunatics. He then reversed this decision this past weekend and agreed to a meeting with both Democratic and Republican leadership today, Monday, September 29th. And to make this even more tumultuous, the Republicans are playing the blame game and blaming this shutdown on Democrats. However, let's make something very clear. Republicans currently control all 3 branches of government. They control the executive branch by way of the president, who is a Republican. They also control the Supreme Court, which has a 6-3 conservative leaning. And then finally, they also control the legislative branch. They have a majority in both the House and the Senate. Now, I want to mention here that the vote threshold for getting through a continuing resolution or a funding mechanism is 60 votes. Democrats have 47 and Republicans have 53, which means that they will need 7 Democrats to vote with them. This is crucial as Democrats are saying that they're not going to budge until some of their demands are included in a continuing resolution, as they were not at all consulted whenever the Republicans pushed through the one big beautiful bill, and they want to make sure that their constituents still get access to good and cheap and affordable health care.
Guys, what are we going to call this between the Democrats and the Republicans now? Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by. So all credit goes to the creators in these videos. And guys, in today's video, the United States is now only 24 hours away from a possible government shutdown, because the Trump administration has warned that it will not hesitate to lay off federal workers if Congress fails to pass a funding bill. And this will mean that thousands of government employees would lose their jobs permanently. Like this is not a temporary job loss, permanently. And the administration is saying that it wants to cut off what it calls, in quotes, non-essential staff. And it will use the shutdown as an opportunity to reduce the size of the federal government workers. And many workers are worried about their future because, guys, nobody knows who is going to be affected, and the uncertainty is intense, guys. And the fear is not just among government employees, but also for ordinary citizens that rely on all those workers for essential services, because it will have ripple effects on daily lives. And social media is divided as always. You know, the Republicans and the Democrats, those that are on the other side. The Republicans are saying that, oh, the Democrats should just give in and they should let this be over with, and they should not bring about a shutdown. And the Democrats are saying that we are standing on business. We are not backing down. If there's gonna be a shutdown, let there be a shutdown, and let's see what comes out as a result of the shutdown. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Let's see what these other creators have to say.
The U.S. government is going to be shutting down in about 24 hours, and that is according to Vice President J.D. Vance. And there are 5 major impacts that this is going to have on our country. So first is our court system and the massive legal delays that we're going to experience for every day that our government is shut down. Specifically, immigration court. Most immigration court staff will be furloughed, so hearings for asylum, deportation, and green card cases will be postponed, which if you've been following the news in the past few months, that is a lot of cases. Second is all federal workers are either going to be furloughed or unpaid. This means hundreds of thousands of federal employees will be sent home without pay, and President Trump already said that a lot of these employees will be permanently fired. Now, essential workers like TSA and Border Patrol will be forced to continue working, but won't be able to collect a paycheck until after the government shutdown ends. Now, this leads to the next major effect, which is air travel disruption. The big thing here is the FAA will halt all training and hiring for air traffic controllers. This is going to result in a TSA staffing shortage because some of them are going to quit because they're not getting a paycheck, and then they can't hire new employees. So the longer this government shutdown lasts, the more delays we'll see at airports. Now, the fourth major effect is the closure of national parks and federally funded museums. Several national parks, national monuments, and federally funded museums will be forced to shut down because, well, they won't have any workers. Now, in recent government shutdowns, some national parks actually stayed open, but they saw a massive increase in overflow trash and pollution because nobody was there to pick it up. And coming in at number 5, which might be number 1 in importance, and that is an overall economic decline of the United States. Now, there's so many ways that this affects the U.S. economy. I would not be able to list them all in this short video. One being that, federal contractors and small businesses that rely on government work won't be able to get paid, but they estimate that for every 1 week that the U.S. government is shut down, the economy loses $1 billion. So to everyone who's going to be affected by this government shutdown, which is pretty much all of us, hang in there. And my question to you is, do you think this government shutdown was avoidable?
The U.S. government is very likely going to shut down tomorrow night as it fails to meet its October 1st funding deadline. Now, here's what that means for you and for anyone employed by the federal government. First, let's get this out of the way. There is no way to spin this as a positive thing. That is ridiculous. The government shutting down is an objectively bad thing. But there is precedent. This has happened before. The most recent was in Trump's first term. Now, interesting about that shutdown, it was the longest in U.S. history, lasting 35 days, beating Bill Clinton's record of 21 days for a federal shutdown. None of these are good records to hold. None of this is good because essential services and payments that U.S. citizens depend on are now compromised. They don't have that support. But what about the people who work for the federal government? What happens to them? They're not fired. A lot of them are furloughed, or some can actually continue coming into their offices and doing whatever their work is, but they won't be paid. Instead, they're entitled to back pay once the government shutdown is resolved. There's another wrinkle here. It looks like the Office of Personnel Management, OPM, is trying to designate reductions in force activities, slashing government workers, as an essential activity. So they want to continue those efforts even while people are out of the office. So I don't know how they intend to pull that off. We'll get more details tomorrow. But look, talk to your Congress people, talk to your representatives, see what the plan is going to be. State governments will still be functioning, but a lot of federal services will cease to function tomorrow night.
Shut it down. Shut it all down. Listen, I've said it before and I will say it again. Shut the government down. The Democrats are out here literally causing problems because they want President Trump to give them over $500 million for free healthcare for illegal immigrants. So let's not worry about the Americans who don't have free healthcare. Let's not worry about the Americans who don't have food to eat. Let's not worry about our public safety with the national terrorist threats on our country that are literally living in our country. Let's worry about giving free healthcare to illegal immigrants. Absolutely not. You see, this shit and this threat, it may have worked when Biden was in office. It may have worked when Obama was in office, but it's not going to work this time. So you know what I say? I say shut it down. Shut it all down. Let them go on recess for a little bit. Let them feel what every American has felt under their reign. Because no more. The billions and billions and billions of dollars that we have put into illegal immigration that could have been made to be put to such good use here in the United States for Americans is insane. And I'm not sorry for saying it. We do not need to be funding other people's healthcare, food, and benefits that are not part of this country. We pay those taxes, Americans, and we should have a say in where that money goes.
All these people that are saying, shut it down, shut it all down, shut it down, shut it all down. I hope they know the effect of shutting this thing down, because it will have major effects on daily lives. Health programs like Medicare, Medicaid will continue, but agencies like Centers for Disease Control and National Institute of Health would have fewer staff because they have federal government workers, and it would slow research, public health responses. Airports and air traffic control may face delays, right? People that rely on government help such as housing, public health programs, social services, I mean, as long as you live in the United States, right, this shutdown, if it happens, would affect you in one way or the other. And these federal employees, those that are let go temporarily, till all the services get restored, if they don't get, those that are not let go permanently, those ones will not get paid on time, and it will cause financial stress. So all these people that are just coming on social media and saying, yeah, shut it down, shut it all down, all the Republicans that are saying, oh yeah, shut it down, shut it all down, shut it down, shut it all down, I hope they know what the ripple effects would be, because the government shutdown affects everyone and not just the government workers, guys, because the public is already reacting. Many people are frustrated, there's worry, and they see it as being unfair that the federal workers are being threatened, right, due to political disagreements in Congress. Like, can they not just come to a conclusion within the next 24 hours so that the rest of the people that did not vote for this administration do not have to find out? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
I think when I say this, I speak for most people. Shut it down. Shut it the fuck down. Shut it down. Shut it down. Because this is just absurd that these people control everything. But yet here we are again, right? And we shall see if, these people have learned their lesson from the last debacle that they, did when it came to this, instead of letting them shut it down. But yeah, shut it down. We deserve a break. We, the people, deserve a break. I deserve a break. I deserve a vacation to just lay in bed for a week and do absolutely nothing. Not having to commute, nothing. Not having to use my brain, nothing. Not having to apologize about what's going on when people are contacting you, right? Having to say, I'm so sorry you're going through this. I don't think people understand how emotionally taxing this entire year has been on people. Like, I don't think people get it. But yeah, shut it down.
Democrats want to shut down the government unless we give $1 trillion in medical benefits to illegal aliens. So you see where the priority of the parties lie. The Republicans want to put America first. The Democrats want to literally shut down the government if they don't get their way. They're pitching a fit, and they want to support illegal aliens. They want to give your tax dollars, they want to give my tax dollars to help medical benefits for illegals, for people who are not even supposed to be here. I don't know about y'all, but I pay an outrageous amount for my medical benefits. Every paycheck, I pay taxes too. So why should my money go to pay for medical benefits for someone who's not even supposed to be here? The Dems have lost their mind. What do y'all think? Leave your comments below and smash that like, follow, share, favorite buttons, because you need to see more of me. Okay, bye.
Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section, because it looks like the Trump administration's readiness to lay off staff has already added urgency and fear to this already existing situation. And if Congress cannot find a compromise, the shutdown will leave the United States paying a heavy price. And it just shows that political decisions have real consequences for American people, because it calls for responsibility, compromise, action, and the nation is waiting to see what is going to happen in the next 24 hours. Guys, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think this shutdown is going to happen, or do you think there is going to be a compromise that will be reached? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I really want to hear from you. And if you found value in this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Please stay safe. Mental health is important. Ciao.